So let's talk now about how the hands-on K1 math activity library is organized. So we started with the Common Core standards for both kindergarten and first grade. So things like counting and cardinality, operations and algebraic thinking, number and operations in base 10, measurement and data and geometry. And then, of course, the first grade ones, counting and cardinality goes away, but we have operations and algebraic thinking, number and operations in base 10, measurement and data, and geometry. And those kind of overlap in different ways. Nothing is black and white. And so we've put all those different standards into a trajectory across 6 different categories that allow students to build that interconnected knowledge. And so our first category we have is quantities and numerals, and that's going to be things like counting quantities, recognizing the actual symbols for the numerals, matching those symbols and quantities together. And we do this starting with 0 to 5, and we build it all the way out to 1000 in base 10. Then we have number writing. So we start with building fine motor skills, tracing numbers, writing numbers. And we really do that officially in first grade. It goes up to 120 eventually. But we have students who love making number scrolls up to 1000. And so we have that in there as an option because if they love it, why not? Then we have number relationships. That's going to be things like patterns, subitizing, decomposing numbers, finding missing parts of numbers, and so on. Operations, which is going to get into understanding symbols, tools, and strategies for addition and subtraction. And we'll do that up to 100 at least. Again, this is a K1 trajectory that we're also eventually building out to second grade, so these will get bigger. Then we have measurement, which is comparing measurable attributes using measurement tools, but also things like comparing numbers, ordering numbers, data and time we put in here as well. And then geometry, we have 2D shapes, 3D shapes, composite shapes. And in second grade, we get to fraction foundations. I threw it in there because we do a little bit maybe in first grade. So then basically how this works is that each of these categories has levels, and eventually for K1 we'll get it built out to 6 levels, but right now we have up to 4 levels of activities, and so that's how it is for every single category, and it builds that student understanding based on both what experts say is the way that students build math understanding, but also what has played out in reality in our classroom, quite honestly. So we've made tweaks based on both of those. Where did we curate these activities from? Well, Annie and I have been teaching for over a decade. Annie probably closing on 15 years. I got a Montessori training, and so I've pulled a lot of my ideas from Montessori, which has a lot of hands-on materials, but then Kathy Richardson's Developing Number Concepts, Teaching Student-Centered Mathematics, Number Talks, Young Mathematicians at Work, and then even the curriculum that our district uses has provided a lot of ideas and inspiration, and so that's where all these activities come from.